Well, this is interesting. I crashed as soon as I made the transition. Crash log mentioned not enough storage space available to process this command, which is bizarre. I do have the switch enabled, so I should have plenty of memory available to the program. Yet somehow, the autosave here was safe. I was actually able to load the autosave. Normally that isn't quite... Nice name. Normally that isn't quite possible. No. Just kind of expect save corruption with crashes, but I was pleasantly surprised. Anyway, let's I'll mention it long after having already equipped it, because that's how things always go. That looks really bizarre. Let's use this rifle for the remainder of this area. I guess I'm starting to feel like it's gonna be just like my previous experience through the mod. Yeah, I'm gonna end up being in the nuclear power plant or something ridiculously far into the game like that before I actually start using this rifle. After carrying it throughout the entire game from whenever you get it from Sidorovich. Come on, I double-clicked that. Man, the lack of artifacts is really hurting me right now. Gotta say, I don't like the smoke effect around the fires. It's a bit too much and a bit too thick. Why? Because you're fucking insane, that's why. There we go. Now the hardest part here is certainly going to be the pseudo-giant. Because I simply have no stamina whatsoever to run away from it. I suppose it wouldn't be a bad idea to switch back to the AN-94 and just... Never really understood this. It's shadered and designed to be like water, but it doesn't actually act like it. Anyway, not a bad idea to switch back to the AN-94. Just throw Vogs at the pseudo-giant. When it arrives. Whoop! Which would be right now. Come on, die already. Whew. A little bit rough. Not too bad, though. Not too bad. How do I somehow have 100? I don't... With all the bleeding that happens in this mod, I don't understand how I'm constantly in an overstock situation with that. Didn't actually want to pick up his rifle, but that's fine. Oh, I picked up the other guy's rifle. One of the really good things about zombifieds, they don't seem to carry pistols with their loadouts. You know, it just makes looting them so much easier. But if they have a pistol, it's because that's the only weapon they have. It's a lot easier to just run up to them, press the take all button and not have to worry about... Oh, I picked up... The hell is that? Oh, that's just the trigger sound for the pseudo-giant. Which, as per usual, triggers in the completely wrong spot. Not sure what GSC was thinking when they set it up there. I don't know, maybe they were expecting the pseudo-giant to just sit back somewhere around here until you ran into that trigger. Clearly not what happens. But yeah, you can loot zombie fights without... Loot them with the take all function, that is. Without having to worry about... Oh, I just picked up 500 rounds of 9x18 garbage that's totally useless. Like that amazing jump right there. I have to mention once again, a lot of these things, dialogues and whatnot, just seem like they would be more meaningful if Yantar was a larger area like it was back in the alpha days. Makes me wonder, what will Yantar be like in Lost Alpha? Will they revert or change things around to be more along the lines of build 1935s? Because that was a really nice version of Yantar, although it was really buggy, being part of an alpha that's notoriously buggy. It was this big, really big area. Big open area, tons of stuff. Of course, at that point, the lab that I just went through wasn't a separate level. It was, you know, part of the same thing. Anyway, let's turn this in and make some money. Okay, then. Just decided a bit late to cut a bit of the trading out. Gotta run with this suit for a while. I forgot to sell the old one. Practically broke again, but I bought myself an elite anomaly detector, so I'm gonna get rid of the old one, obviously. Gonna need to grab myself a drink here pretty soon. So, I suppose I don't really need any of these fancy things that he's giving out. But they do look pretty nice. Quite a few of them do, at least. This especially, but this is a long way from now. There's no way I'm going to be able to get that anytime soon. And I do have the grandmother's beads, apparently. That's elder glass beads, but they're too good to give up for this transition just yet. So I'll wait until I get some more. Now comes the fun part. With an exo equipped, I can carry all of this, which is great. Time to return to the bar. I apparently sold the thing. Droplet, sweet. Sold something. I sold something. The silencer, the suppressor for this gulag. Chimera tears. What a load of garbage. That is terrible. Let me try to find this again. One of these. I should probably get myself somewhere safe before staring at that. Apparently in the lab all day. One of these used... Yeah, one of these used a droplet. This. Haha. Or is that something different? Well, I guess let's just go around to the electro anomaly. Which is very close by. Close by. And see what the transmutator brings up as an option. Not a big fan of it being so close to a gravity anomaly. That's going to cause trouble. Ha 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 ha! 5 hours. 5 hours. That could be a bit of a problem. Personally, I'm just hoping that the inevitable blowout that happens here doesn't... Well, when the blowout's finished, apparently I can just go right out there and, get it. Pretty handy. Got eerily silent there for a minute. Where's that Alenka chocolate bar? There we go. I was gonna say, is this thing gonna start or what? Electro tears. And having another one of those is just gonna be great. Now the question, I suppose, is what to get rid of it. Or rid of for it. Simple choice, really. I mean, I don't seem to have a thorn artifact anymore of any kind, so I don't really need the anti-bleeding quite as much. Much. We can now actually just take both of them off. Yeah, I'll put my Electro Tears number 2 here. Have this on to fix up chem burn a little bit. One of those used to be very heavily, well, not anymore because I got rid of both of these. But boost my resistance to those and add a little bit of bullet-proof cap. Yeah, I would say for now that this is a pretty solid artifact loadout. 42 vodka. I can buy myself a PKM and a bunch of other stuff. Once I get to the ensign in Agrafrom, that is. Alright. I'm certainly not going to be going through the wild territory and whatnot when it's this dark and I'm in a suit that doesn't have any night vision, so let's sleep the night. As I was originally planning to. I used to only go for 6 a.m. because for a while that seemed to be sufficient in terms of time passed to get to daylight. But it genuinely seems like 6 a.m. has gotten darker in the zone. Well, I'd say the detection radius could stand to be a bit wider, but... That's still a pretty nice improvement over my previous anomaly detector. Anyway, let's go to the wild territory. Now, provided I can clear up enough space, should be able to take care of a couple side quests on my return trip through here. Desert Eagle and the family rifle. Can also be ambushed by bandits. Bandits that are not terribly effective. Yeah, nice ambush, guys. Really effective. Bunch of jerks. What are bandits doing in the wild territory anyway? And really, that's all a bit unusual. Use a bit more ammo for my sidearm. Ah, man, a PPSH. Damn. Well, really, the only damn-worthy thing about that is the fact that I cannot carry it. I just don't have the space. And everybody's running around with their sidearms out. Oh, the Uzi's in good condition. I'm gonna drop it on the floor then. Unless, wait. Yeah, I can actually see the stats in this view. It's got better handling than my MAC-10. Identical everything else. 16 rounds, which is a load of shit. Versus 32. Let's just see what this actually holds. That settles it. The animation isn't even remotely correct, as there's actually... it doesn't actually have a magazine interacting with anything. So, don't want to use it. Damn, what exactly did I pick up? Yeah, I can get rid of all this. kind of expecting that to help a bit more, but guess not. Ah, that's the problem right there. Got this Browning pistol I don't want. Turns out it wasn't the problem. Well, what the hell else did I pick up? I don't recall picking up that much loot. That didn't help at all. There we go. Right, I can move again. Must be the Vogs. Either that or I picked up more ammunition than I noticed I did. Got an elite anomaly detector and I'm still walking right into Electros. Extreme skill right here in this playthrough. Man, can you imagine having limited amounts of bolts going through this game? It'd be ridiculous. There's actually apparently an option to play in a way like that, though I don't know where you would get the bolts in the first place. Nobody sells them, you don't get them as loot, you don't... There's just nowhere to get it from. Get them from, rather. In fact, the only way I know of to get bolts is to do this. Still a little bugged by how delayed the sound for that is, for that event. If I remember right, this ladder, yep, the ladder is not a ladder. Just a visual of a ladder that does nothing. I remember that being brought up as something, as somebody... Yeah, I think it was Grimwald. He was trying to get to a stash that was apparently up here. Or something like that. Some sort of situation similar to that. And he couldn't, using the ladder for obvious reasons. That must not be a real, explosive barrier either. You thought if he had poltergeist. Oh, you cheeky bastard. Total waste of Vogs. But at least it's Blutsager. Oh, that's a marsh one, too. Did that really hurt me all the way up here? It played the sound effect like it did. Right, if you couldn't already tell, I did forget to disable the sunshaft effect. Asked around in the forums, didn't get a response yet, but I asked around to see if the effect was CPU bound in any way. Because that would explain why I get such nasty frame drops with it on. When recording with DxTory exclusively. Because it wasn't a problem with Shadowplay. Again, very little is a problem with Shadowplay. other than apparently building up some heat when used for extended periods of time, as was the case with finishing up Alan Wake yesterday. And my system got all sorts of warm playing that for a few hours. Okay, well... Oh, come on. Have I mentioned how much I hate that effect? And don't really understand it. It's not even a Psydog either, it's just a pseudo-dog. It just has this ability to mess with your screen and make you drop your weapon. I mean, sure, there's the Psi Effector Advanced option, but that would also disable, you know, the effect happening when a beer would cause it. And that's one of these situations where the effect actually makes sense. Let's see if I can just avoid the teleport anomalies. Interesting. Not sure how shooting it caused the physical harm to myself from a distance. But that happened. Do electros not get picked up by the radar? Or was I just not close enough to notice it before it happened? Alright, well that's both of my side quests in this area done. Now to make myself move again. How do I do that? I'm gonna figure that out off camera and give myself a drink because it feels my tongue feels like sandpaper right now. So I'll be back in a minute. Right, well, chugging 20 loaves of bread seems to have done the job well enough. Still don't know why I don't just drop them on the ground. Again, how often am I going to oh yeah, the electro is just not being picked up by the detector. Yeah, how often am I going to come back into this... God damn anomalies! I just want to explore the very back of the tunnel, because I never go this far back. You always gotta ruin things. This is bizarre. That's what I was looking for. I was surprised to not run into it sooner. I remember there being more than just that for teleports in this area. Ah, there was nothing back here anyway. So the durability of the loner exoskeleton leaves a lot to be desired, I've discovered. So I really wasn't in... I really haven't taken that much damage in it, I don't think. And it's just destroyed. Now again, I believe I disabled the requirement for things to be in great condition for them to be accepted. Requests. That is a chimera. Definitely a chimera. Whatever it's called. But I don't want to take the chance, is the thing, really. Oh, shit. Easily the worst anomaly in the game, Electros. I mean, the gravity ones, most of them, you get caught in them, you just can't escape and you're dead. But at least they're a lot easier to avoid. I just found so many of these Electros to be practically invisible until you're in them, trying to get away and dying because you lose stamina when you get hurt. You also bounce off ladders for some unforeseen reason. Hell, that.